All right, welcome back. RealCopStoriesVideos.com. Over 390 cop stories are all my babies. Look them up. Gross alerts are the most popular. Vice, narcotics, everything you can think of. You got the dogs biting people and little puppies need moisture when grandma dies in the house. That's gross. It's a bad one. So look them up, please. Over 200 question and answers. Doing that now. So ask me a question. Email me at rsbcopstories@gmail.com and I'll answer your question and we'll put it on video. Question now is someone's asked me about policy changes and how we evolved with different policies. Went from chokeouts to batons to, we had tear gas, that was gone. We went to tasers, which came in, still doing tasers this day. But the new one at the time, what came because of evolving, because of the bad use of tear gas, not very accurate. In other words, it was not very finite. You shoot the tear gas at someone and it goes like this. And if you're in a room or a house, not good. Officers get it too, and innocent people get it. You got some wife beater, which you get a lot of those, okay? I used to get like 2 or 3 a week radio calls, okay? Both in the Mexican area and the black area, it didn't really matter. And, we don't normally pepper spray, but sometimes you have to. Or in those days it was tear gas. So she's over here beat up, she's crying, got ice on her face, and you're gonna arrest him, and he gives you the stance, so you give him tear gas. Well, what happens is, he gets tear gas, I get tear gas, my partner gets tear gas, and she gets tear gas, and the kids get tear gas. The dog gets tear gas. Everybody gets tear gas. So they decide this is not a good thing. Okay, so eventually it takes years. They have to come up with an alternative, and the alternative was pepper spray. Very good. Okay, pepper spray was nice because it was a little more, I'd say lethal, but a little more effective. It was safe in their eyes, which is good because they worry about chemicals and whatnot. Because I think it's just made from the pepper. I think it's regular pepper. Not anything fancy. Not any kind of really fancy chemicals. I think tear gas had some chemicals in there, like DuPont or something. Maybe who the hell knows? But pepper spray was more humane in the sense that it was like organic. I don't know about a scientist, but anyway. But it was the best thing about it was it had a little bit more range, and when it came out, I equate that to when I kill weeds, the Roundup. This nozzle, you can turn the nozzle and make a stream like this, or make a stream like this. That's pretty much. This had just a stream like this. And that was good because intended target. If I'm going to shoot the camera, I go right from here to hit the camera dead center, and I won't hit anybody else around. Won't hit the officers. Not that saying you're going to not smell it, but you're not going to get it infused in you like you would with tear gas. So that was a neat thing that came out, and it was very good. First few issues because it's issued. Probably a new company trying to make thousands of them because there's 10,000 of us. You're going to have at least 6,000. They want to give them to everybody, even detectives, because you never know when you go out on a follow-up or something, you're going to need it. So imagine if you're a new company, there was a small company making it, and all of a sudden you get an order, you want 10,000. Oh my goodness, you're not set up for that. You make maybe 500 a month, or who knows how much you make a month, and all of a sudden here's an order, a serious order, So anyway, so it took a while, a year to get the bugs out of it, and stuff were handed back in, they weren't working, some of the but it's fine now. I mean, we've had them a long time. We've had tear gas 20 years, 25 years, probably more than that. Or not tear gas, I'm sorry, pepper spray. So that was the evolve of that thing. Okay, then trying to, you got to remember now, a lot of this stuff is litigation run. It's civil liability, we call it, where the powers to be, because remember now, the police department is governed by the police commission, and the police commission members get selected by the mayor, and they make decisions on everything with the police department. I'm talking everything. What kind of cars you get, what kind of uniforms you wear, everything. And so they're getting bombarded from the city attorney who handles all the lawsuits of injuries that, people are getting sticked a lot, okay? Or they're getting tasered a lot, or they're getting whatever. And of course they don't like that because every time someone's tasered or beaten, there's a lawsuit. Obviously, people won't have the right to sue, and they're going to sue, and some collect, some don't. I mean, whatever. You've seen television. Every time there's somebody really with police, they get an attorney like the next day. I swear the attorneys are driving around, following the police cars so they can see if you're going to need help, to give it to some victim. Okay, whatever. That's their job, whatever. So now they said, well, we're going to try to, and in the field was the biggest, traffic stops, radio calls, was the greatest threat to, of course, the suspects, but it was also the greatest threat to the officers. Because they had these guys with knives, chains, a club, and you've seen, if you're watching television the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of officer-involved shootings with homeless, people with knives, and believe me, if I'm out there as I'm an officer and somebody comes at me with a knife, I'm just going to pull out my pistol and shoot them. I'm not going to sit there and have a line seminar and discuss things with them. I don't have that. Unfortunately, they're mentally ill. There's no way anybody knows that. Are you aware of the fact that officers don't know that? The way the news media sounds, we know everything when we pull up to the car. No, we know nothing except the guy standing with a gun, a club, or whatever. So they're trying to avoid that years ago. So they said, well, this is what we'll do. If we have a situation where guys are just standing in the street, or they're in their car, they won't come out, or they're standing in a porch, they've got a knife, where you really can't shoot them because they're not a threat to anyone, they're a threat to themselves only. They haven't charged you. You stay far enough away tactically so that you got some guys have sticks out, guy have a pepper spray, guy have guns out. So and then you order them down, and again, people don't do what we say. Okay, I've always said all these shootings all over the country. If an officer says put your hands behind your back and get on your knees, that's what you do. You'll be alive tomorrow. Okay. Sure, you can complain that it was racially motivated, or they don't like that you were a gay guy, or whatever reason. That's fine. Get an attorney, go sue the department. But don't do it the night the officer's trying to arrest you, and the officer thinks he sees something in your waistband in your pocket, and you wind up blowing the guy away, and then here comes his ninth grade picture, and the parents say, oh, he was a great kid, and he turns around, he's the next felon. I mean, no. Just do what you're told. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so for those situations where they're not going to respond, they came out with a new thing here. Beanbag shotguns, okay? I thought that was, a lot of stuff came out after I was a detective and went to do narcotic work, and I never got a chance to use any of this stuff. Beanbag shotguns, okay? Okay, so it was a regular shotgun that we carry, but it carried rounds in there. It looked like shotgun rounds, but it carried a little beanbag in there, all wadded up and stuffed in there mechanically, so it's really tight with a pretty good charge. And when they fire it, the bag's about that big around. It opens up, it's about that thick, coming at somebody Mach 3, okay? Kind of like, they said it's kind of like they told us like 5 times the hurt and the speed of someone hitting a racquetball as hard as they can against your body. Okay, I played racquetball, my wife and I played racquetball. You get hit by a racquetball, hurts. Okay, hurts. This is like 5 or 6 times that hurting, because they do that so if you're wearing a jacket or clothes, it'll penetrate and give you pain. That's theirs. Is to give you pain and drop what you're doing and stop what you're doing. That's what it's for. Not to shoot. You don't hit them in the head. You don't shame their eyeballs. It's just for body shots. Stomach. You're not supposed to shoot them in the groin because it could really hurt testes. So you shoot legs, shoulders, arms. They try to see if you can. Even though the public thinks we can do this, shoot the knife out of his hand. No, you just try to hit the biggest spot you have, because it's a shotgun for one thing, and that beanbag's not a rifled bullet. Rifled bullet comes out like this, very accurate. It's coming out as a wad of basically shot shell in a beanbag. So it's not going to come out, straight. It's just going to come out as straight as the rifle had it, but it's not real pinpointed like a sniper. Okay, anyway. So as a supervisor, I was a supervisor then, so we got trained in it. And the biggest concern against liability was that, unfortunately, in the heat of battle, an officer's going to reach in and get the beanbag shotgun. He might get the wrong shotgun because they look exactly alike. And if you get the wrong shotgun, but I call them people killers, okay, you get the wrong shotgun and you go, okay, now, and you use it and you blow the guy away. Okay, wrong gun. Okay, they were really concerned about that. Again, I told you before in the last tape, these bean counters, attorneys are always worried that officers are going to do something radical. We're just doing police work. We make mistakes. We're the human race here. But they were definitely afraid that an officer would grab the wrong weapon and then use it and kill someone, which is fine, okay? In fact, about 7 or 8 years ago, they had I think it was back east, some transit officer who was like a reserve. They were tackling some guy, and he took out his stun gun, the taser, and went to stun him. Well, he had his revolver and shot the guy, and he killed him, okay? And his testimony was, I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, that's all nice, but you're trained not to pull the wrong one. His family sued, obviously, and collected, because your job as an officer is to be able to discriminate of everything you need and not make mistakes like that. That's a deadly mistake, big time. Okay, so they were deathly afraid of that. So what they do, you might see them on TV if you watch some of these live shows, the Live PD and some of these other ones, cops, is they painted him bright colors. I think ours was green. Everything's green. The stock is all green, and they have the thing that slides the bullet in. That's green, and I don't think we did the barrels green. I think it was just the stock, which is a pretty good size thing, pretty bright green, like really bright green, so you can see it. And for that reason, and apparently I don't think we've had any accidental usage of the wrong shotgun being picked, because it's pretty obvious and the strap that holds it is green. So there's no defense saying, gee, I grabbed the wrong one. No. You got the right one. Okay, so what's nice was that the commands they gave us is usually you have time. This is not where you pull over a car and you pull out a beanbag. No. This is where you have people that are challenging the police. You've had time. You pull up, supervisors pull up, and you have time to negotiate. They're arguing with you. They're screaming. They're drunk. Whatever. It's not one of those quick things where you pull a car over, the guy jumps out and aims something at you. No, that's going to be a regular shooting. This is more for, now again, knives, drunk husbands, stuff that kind of gray area. You don't want to shoot the guy, you can't shoot the guy, but you don't want to rush him yet because he's got a knife in his hand. A lot of times they put it under their neck, okay? And we always make jokes that, oh yeah, I shot the guy so I could save his life. Okay, that doesn't make any sense, okay? But that's cop story. Hey, I saved his life, yeah, but you blew him away with your shotgun. It doesn't make any sense, okay? So it's for that reason, I've had guys hold knives against the throats of dogs. They're puppies. It's his wife's dog, and he's going to show her. So he's standing with the cops all around, got his knife got a hold of the dog, and the knife's to the dog's throat. Okay, stuff like that. So they told us, I never had to do this, but I'll tell you what they taught us is they said, okay, when you roll up as a supervisor, you look back and get and assign someone. You got a beanbag, get it. Okay, so the guy that gets a beanbag shotgun knows what's coming next because they're trained a certain way too, as the police officer are trained to respond to the supervisor's training. And what happens is, when I did it once at a narcotic search warrant. One of our guys had a beanbag. And I looked at him, okay, let's go. Went in there, guy was in the house, he doesn't want, he's not complying. So I yelled, beanbag up, okay? That means the guy with the beanbag comes up, and the next thing I want to hear is shing shing, because you don't put it in the chamber until you're told to. Well, when the supervisor says beanbag up, that tells the subordinate, he's been trained in this, to jack one in the chamber and fire when you have an open shot. Not even wait for the order, okay? That means that the supervisor already made that decision, okay? You have to have when you use that beanbag, supervisor has to approve it, just for purposes of reporting and liability and all that. So it happened one time, I forgot to tell you that. It happened one time with us, beanbag up, guy came up, and the suspect heard the universal sound that I worked in both the black area and a Mexican area. The universal sound of uh-oh is shing shing, okay? Very loud. I wish I had one here. You could hear that sound. It's a metal sound of a round going into a shotgun chamber. Very distinct. All officers would recognize it. A lot of crooks, older crooks, would recognize it. All military would recognize it. It's a really distinct thing. When he did that, the suspect yelled and dove on the ground. Don't kill me, okay? He didn't know that we have a green shotgun. He just heard the shotgun being chambered. We gotta ask him later, because I have to interview him, As soon as he literally went up and kind of like doing a nosedive and a pull, he went boom, right on the ground. Don't kill me. Well, A, very good. You do what you're told. You don't get killed, right? B, he complied with the orders. And C, I didn't have to shoot the guy. We didn't have to shoot the guy. And as soon as he dove, I went like this, put my hand up like this, because we're busy watching him. I don't know if he has a gun or whatever. As soon as he did that, then 3 of my officers went over and grabbed him and cuffed him. Okay, so then the guy that had the beanbag, one of my more vocal subordinates, he stand next to me because you have to stand next to the supervisor because he wants to be able to control the weapon. The supervisor, control the employee. He stand next to me. He's not, you have to unload it completely and then make sure it's okay and then put the rounds in a certain spot. And he's in there going, damn, man, I missed my chance. I go, calm down. He goes, oh, I had him in sights. I said, sometimes you just can't do it. Oh, he's all mad because we're A's, we're alphas, okay? And someone doesn't do what you're told, we want to comply. So he's like, and he walks away and gets in the car. So we're, and of course, once we get back to the station, guys are ragging on him. What's the matter? You couldn't shoot him? What's the matter? Really? I go, hey, stop it. He knows to do it the right way. I don't have to control. I have to delineate whose role here and who's doing what in here. And he did the right thing. We don't just shoot people for nothing. They go, really? We can't? And everybody starts making jokes. Okay, a big deal. Okay, it's all talk. Okay. But that's the next generation. That's the beanbag now. It's used to this day. Very good. I'm running out of time, so we'll go to the next one. Okay? Bye-bye.